welcome to my tarot corner. So today I'm going to deep dive into Harry's psyche. Now, it's not a very easy time for him. It looks like his book backfired. It seems like the numbers of his sales are rigged. If you watched Lady C yesterday, she showed that she received 2 copies of the book, and that was in a response to a question that someone asked her, because apparently she's not the only one. So it seems like the Penguin Random House has been sending extra copies of the book to people who ordered only 1 copy. Apparently bookstores that only wanted 10 copies received 30. It looks like the numbers that started as very high are not going to stay so high, just like I said in the past. And as you remember, I said that the book will be a very big success in the beginning, but then it will very shortly fall into the $1 bin. I'm not sure that it's already there, but what I can tell you that I have been monitoring the New York Times best-selling list and the UK non-fiction hardcover best-selling lists, and I couldn't find Spare on either of the lists. You could find them on the top list of Amazon or of Waterstone, of bookstores, but not when you're looking at the whole lists that are combined from many bookstores, from sales online and sales that are of books and of audiobooks and of ebooks. So when you're looking at these kinds of lists, you see that that Spare hasn't reached any of the actual top of the best-selling lists. So. But that isn't only a minor problem. The biggest problem is that many of his claims in the book were debunked. And he has become a joke. He's been mocked by very prominent people in Hollywood. Jimmy Kimmel, one of them. Many people in England are mocking him. His penis has become a very big joke because he's been talking about his penis so many times. But many of the claims that he claimed in the book were completely false. And many people came out with, and daily people are coming out with information about things that he said in the book that are not true. The latest one is a flight instructor that is coming out and saying that what Harry wrote in his book is a complete fantasy. That came out in the Daily Mail today. So more and more people are coming out and debunking things that he's written in his book. And it looks like this book is more of a fiction than a non-fiction book. Moreover, he's been contradicting himself. He says that the palace never protected him. He says that the palace never protected his wife, but then he comes out and says that many of the claims that the palace came out and denied were true. for example, the bullying accusation, for example, the fact that Meghan did make Kate cry, the fact that even the story about his drug use, that the palace came out and said that it wasn't true to protect him. He himself is coming out and admitting that it was true. So he's contradicting himself in this book. He's coming out in a very bad light in this book. Even his wife, he's not protecting his wife in this book. So, as according to Taz, said that she thinks that Meghan wrote this book, and I said, how can it be that Meghan wrote the book if she comes out so bad in the book? So I don't know who wrote the book. Probably J.R. Moringer wrote the book, but how could it be that Meghan didn't notice that she's being mocked in the book as well? So this book might bring Penguin Random House some kind of a lot of money, and maybe Prince Harry was paid a lot of money for this book, but it is a failure in every aspect of Harry's life. In his battle against his family, he failed completely. In his strife to get an apology from his family, he failed completely. And I stand corrected. I posted on my community post a video in which Tom Bauer said that he thinks that Prince William needs to come out and make a statement in which he says or he defends the royal family. Some of you came out and said that you are not agreeing with me about that, and I stand corrected. You were right. I was wrong. With everyday new claims that are being debunked. William doesn't need to come out and say anything. The royal family don't need to come out and say anything. The book is talking by himself. It is debunking himself. There is no need to debunk the book. There is no need for the royal family to defend themselves because nobody believes a word that comes from Harry's mouth. Not in the US, not in the UK. Their popularity is plummeting in both countries. And apparently, Catherine is the most popular royal in the US right now. So, not a very good prospect for Harry and Meghan, who weren't invited for the BAFTA tea party and probably will not be invited to other grand Hollywood parties and other occasions. So I'm going to do another Celtic cross, but this time I'm going to use the extended Celtic cross, the one that looks into the outcome and looks into elaborates more into the outcome. I think that in this case there is room to elaborate on the outcome. Okay, so before I start, this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. So I'm using the Zombie Tarot, which is how I see Prince Harry right now. So let's clear the deck. Okay, so Deep dive into Prince Harry's psyche. How does he feel right now after the publication of Spare, after being scrutinized, and after his most of his claims in Spare have been debunked? How does he feel about being mocked by people in the UK and in the US, being a joke by many US A-listers? How does he feel at being not invited to important events in Hollywood? How does he feel about his family? How does he feel in regard to the coronation? How does he feel in regard to his wife? So how does Harry feel after the publication of Spare? Did anything change in the way that he sees himself, his life, his marriage? How does Harry feel in regard to the way that he sees himself after the publication of Spare and the backlash that came out of the publication of Spare, the debunking of most of his claims? So let's cut the deck. And the first card is the central issue, which shows us Harry, the way that he feels, the way that he is right now. And the card that I'm getting here is the Ace of Wands. So right now, Harry is mainly thinking about how to get his wishes realized in the material world. So right now he is thinking about what's next. What is the next thing that I can do? What is the next thing that I can create? What is the next? For him, he's not looking at what happened before. He's looking forward. He's looking at, okay, maybe I can publish a second book. Maybe I can do something else. But he's looking at how can I make my wishes come true. He is thinking about making his energies, creativity this is about ego. This is about creating something. This is about getting his wishes coming true in the material world. This is the main thing that he's thinking about right now. So he's not thinking about the backlash. He's not thinking about everything that came out from the book. He is like someone who is put something on his ears and on his eyes. He's not looking and he's not listening. What he's thinking about is the next thing. What can I do next? What is the next thing that might bring me some more money, that might bring me some more notoriety? This is about ego. This is about being able to show the world that I can do something else and to do something that will bring me some kind of notoriety, okay? So this is what he is thinking about right now. The next card is what crosses him or his obstacles, and what we're getting here is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is the card of Meghan, usually. The Queen of Wands is a card that usually represents her. And she is standing in his way because in everything that he's trying to do, she's there. She is stopping him. She wants to be the first, the one who is center stage. She wants to be the one who is most important. She wants to be the one who is the most successful. She will never let him to be the successful. She will never let him, let's say, enjoy some kind of success. The reason that she stepped back was because she probably anticipated the backlash and the scrutiny, and she didn't want to be a part of the backlash and the scrutiny. So that's why she stepped back and let Harry enjoy the limelight. But when we're talking about new ventures, about new things, she will be the one that will stop him. She will be the one that will be there and will try to make it all about herself, because she's egotistical, because she needs to perform in front of an audience, because she is very extravagant. And this card also shows immaturity, and this is Harry's immaturity. It shows jealousy, and this is jealousy at other people's success. This is jealousy at the other royal family's success. The fact that Catherine is now the most liked royal family member in the US. This is a card of betrayals. This is a card of a person that is feeling like a failure, and this is what Harry feels like. So this is what stops him. This is what he needs to overcome in order to be able to make his wishes come true. So in order to make this card a reality, he needs to be able to overcome, first of all, his wife and her needs and her wish to be center stage, her egotistical needs, her need to be in the front, her need to be the extravagant one, the one who always dresses in very expensive outfits. So he needs to battle that, and he needs to battle his own immaturity, his jealousy. He needs to battle the betrayals that he feels from all around him. He needs to battle his tendency to take the blame when it comes to his relationship with his wife, and the fact that he feels like a failure right now after the book came out and the backlash that came out of the book. Okay, what is the foundation, or what is the hidden influences that are affecting Harry? And what we're getting here is the Hermit. And I've been getting the Hermit card quite a lot with Harry right now. So it seems like Harry really feels very, very lonely. And this is a card of someone who feels lonely. This is a card of someone who is... This is a card of usually someone who will go all the way to find the truth. In Harry's case, I don't know if he's strong enough to be able to go and have the patience in order to go and find the truth. But this card shows that he's very, very lonely, that he is in this solitude, that he is finds it hard to he finds it hard to communicate with other people. He's trying to work things out, but he is sacrificing things. He's sacrificing his home, he sacrifices his family. He's a person that is waiting for things to happen without even doing anything. It's a person who lets others decide for him. This is a person who procrastinates. So in a way, he feels very, very lonely, and this is the main message of this card. This is a major arcana, so it's very spiritual. So in internal influence, he feels alone, despite the fact that he's trying to say that he's very happy, and despite the fact that he is in a relationship, he is very lonely. He's really very, very alone. Okay, so what is let's say what is above him, or in his conscious mind? What, or let's say, what is the his desired outcome? What does he want to have? What does he want? What is the outcome that he wants? And what I'm getting here is temperance. So temperance is about the ability to believe, but this is another major arcana. So major arcanas are not grounded cards. They are cards that are staying in the spiritual realm. But this is about believing that miracles can happen. So he really wants some kind of a miracle. Now we can see that in the book, because he is trying to communicate with his mother in so many ways. And that reminds me that I read an article about this boy in Australia that is claiming that he is the reincarnation of Princess Diana, and he's calling Harry and William his sons, and he speaks about many things that he could never know if he wasn't really someone in his previous life, with someone connected to the royal family. But so maybe even, I wouldn't be surprised if Harry wouldn't go to visit that boy. But this is a card of someone that really wants to believe in miracles. He wants to believe that miracles can happen. So he really wants, this is what his desired outcome is, that his mother will come to him and will tell him what is best, what does he need, what he needs to do. This is about believing that things can happen by themselves. This is about believing that he can things that miracles can happen, and that he can get those things that he wants. But it is also about a person that is afraid of failure. This is also about a person that has no control, and he is not in a balanced position, and a person that is developing dependence in others. And it's very, very logical, because a person that is waiting for things to happen by themselves, a person that wants to believe in miracles, it's very easy for him to develop a dependency on another person, because then that person can tell him so many things. For example, the fact that Meghan has been telling him that she has contact with his mother, or all sorts of things that he wants to believe in, and to convince him that she has the power to make those dreams come true, to make those miracles come true. So he really wants his dreams to come true by themselves, without the need to do anything. Okay, next card is the past. What can we see for the past? And the past is the Empress, and the Empress is the mother card. It's another major arcana. And that is the mother that would do anything for him, that will give anything for him. So it just shows us how attached he was to his mother. This card shows how difficult it is for him to get to detach from his mother. Now, I listened to Lady C yesterday, and she was talking about whether or not Diana knew that Harry had mental health difficulties, and she said that she didn't, but she did know that he was not right, that he wasn't smart, and in a way she gave him a lot of lenience to do things because he wasn't smart. So she allowed him to do many things that she might not have allowed to William, because William was supposed to be king and Harry wasn't, and she turned, maybe she turned her other cheek. I don't know how to say that, but she turned a blind eye. That's the way, that's the term. But and she didn't discipline Harry. She didn't discipline him enough, and he grew up thinking that he deserves everything that he wants. This is why we get the temperance card here. This is why we get a person that believes that he deserves to get everything that he wants, that he deserves to get his dreams come true, the miracles, miracles to come true. So this is the Empress, is the card of the mother that will give everything that she has without asking for anything in return. And because it comes in the past, it shows the things that are not helping him any longer. And this connection of Harry with his mother is not helping him. It shows that he has difficulty in placing borders because Diana never placed borders to him, so he doesn't know how to place borders. It shows jealousy, it shows attraction to destructive partners, it shows a person that is giving on the expense of others, and it shows really difficult mother-child relationships. So, and a person that is hiding the truth. So this is what was in his past, and it's not helping him. And the first thing that he should have done in therapy was to find a way to detach from his mother. He didn't go through the separation process as he should have. And this is the one thing that he should have done, is find a way to say goodbye to his mother. Okay, so this is in the past, and the next card is that is in the far past, and the next card is the recent past, and the recent past is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is the initiator. The King of Wands is the person who knows how to start things but doesn't know how to take them all the way through. So that's another card of something that Harry has been doing for a long time, and it's not serving him. And this is, so we need to look at the negative aspects of this card. And it shows a person who is impatient. It shows a person who loses interest very easily. It shows an egotistical person who has no tact and has tendency to get angry very fast and very impulsive. All of the things that we know that Harry is. And all of those things are not serving him. These things are things that are hindering him. So, and if we're talking about all of those information, all of that information that has come out in recent weeks about his behavior to women. That is very much a King of Wands way of acting, a very impulsive person, someone who will be very irritated very easily, get angry very easily. And the King of Wands is also a person who is very sexual. So sexuality is also a very big thing here. So that could very much go with all of the rumors that have been roaming around the internet in the past few weeks. So that is the near past. Okay, the next card is a card that shows us Harry as he is today, and I'm getting the Three of Hazards. Okay, so let's see. So the Three of Hazards is the Three of Pentacles. This is a card of recognition and reward. So right now he is counting the money that he got from a Penguin Random House and the money that he got from Netflix and Spotify. Right now he's not looking at the scrutiny that came with all of that. He's not looking at the bad things that came out. He is looking at the money and the recognition that he got from all of the interviews and how he got to say the things that he wanted to say, how people listened to him, forgetting that those interviews were orchestrated and scripted. These things are not important to him. He's looking at he is not even paying attention to the fact that the last interview that was with Colbert, I think, was actually a very an interview that was really as the body language guy said, making fun of him. But he's not seeing that. So he's not seeing those things. He's seeing the money and he's thinking about the recognition that he got the chance to say things as he sees them, that he was able to get his view out, to say what he thinks. And if you could see in the interview in ITV with Tom Bradby, when Tom Bradby was taken aback when Harry said that they didn't mean to say that the royal family was racist, and Tom Bradby was choosing his words very carefully because he knew that he couldn't challenge Harry. He couldn't ask him the difficult questions. And one of the things that I said was, I wonder if Jimmy Kimmel would have asked Harry the difficult questions, because Harry was supposed to go to Jimmy Kimmel, and after he didn't go to Jimmy Kimmel started making fun of him. But this card shows that right now what Harry's thinking about is the money that he got and the recognition that he got by with all of those interviews. And right now nobody really knows where he is. And he's thinking, he really thinks that he got this stage to say what he believes, to say what he thinks, and he's not paying attention to the fact that some of his interviewers even mocked him. Okay, the next card is the environment, or how people around him see him. And what we're getting here is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords, that is the reporter or the liar in this instance. The reporter is someone who is communicating, someone who is very slick-tongued, someone who knows how to talk. And we saw that Harry actually has the ability to perform. He knows how to talk, but also he knows how to lie. And the Page of Swords is a liar also. He is someone who is very good in verbal communication, but also very slick-tongued, and also someone who can lie, and someone who can manipulate, and someone who can show a lot of inconsistencies. So people are seeing him as a liar, as someone who, with a very slick tongue, is trying to manipulate the world to believe his version of the truth. But other people are coming out and debunking what he's saying, so the world sees him for what he is. He's coming out and attacking the media for attacking him, but actually he's using that media, the media that he's attacking, he's using them to further his own ideas, his agenda. So he's actually doing something that is very, let's say, hypocritical. So he's very hypocritical, and people see that. So this is how the people, the world, this is how they see them. Okay, what is he hoping for, or what is he afraid of? And what I'm getting here is the King of Swords. Okay, so the King of Swords is the pacifier. The King of Swords is also the one who is appeaser, is the pacifist, someone who will try to find the middle ground. So I could say that in one aspect he's hoping that someone like the King of Swords will come up and find a middle ground between him and his family, so he can heal the rift between his family and himself, because he really does want that rift healed, but he doesn't want to give in. So he's also afraid that this person will come in and make him give in to the things that he doesn't want to, because he wants that apology that he knows that he will not get. So on one side, he wants that person to come in. He wants that person to appear, that someone will come in and pacify, someone will come in and be the Libra man that will come and negotiate between him and his family. But he's also afraid. He's afraid of the sacrifices that he might need to make. He is afraid of the resignation that he might need to make. And then he is afraid that it will lead to a complete burning of bridges. Because this man can also be a very rigid person when things are not going his way. So he's afraid that this Libra man might come into the scene to negotiate between him and his family. He is in between hopeful and fearful that this person will appear and try to negotiate between him and his family, because he knows that negotiation means that he will have to give in. He will have to resign many of his demands in order to get anywhere. And if he won't do that, then it means a complete burning of the bridges. So what can we see for the outcome? And the outcome is the Six of Hazards. And the Six of Hazards, that's the Six of Pentacles, which means that Harry is, first of all, getting way too much than what he deserves. that is the first interpretation of the card. This is about getting too much than what you deserve, because he's not giving anything, and the money that he's been receiving, he doesn't deserve that. So this card is about giving and receiving. When you give, then you deserve to get. If you are not giving, then you do not deserve that. But Harry is receiving too much. He's receiving more than he deserves. But this card is also about being in the right place at the right time. It is also about second chances. So there might be a second chance here. So there might be some kind of ability to reconcile with his family. Now, the question is he willing to give? Now, I just want you to this is not, we don't see this in the card, but in this card, in the Rider-Waite, there is a scale. Now, this person is a Libra man. Libra is also scale. There is a scale. So Harry will have to, if this man comes along and tries to negotiate, Harry will have to be on that scale, and he will have to be weighed. His claims will have to be weighed to the truth, and then the decision will be made whether or not he deserves what he claims, what he wants, and he will only receive from the royal family what he deserves. So this is another interpretation of this card in regard to the possible second chance that he might get from the royal family. Now let's see what the extension or the elaboration of the outcome might give us. So the first elaborating card is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is all about being able to concentrate on the most important things and put the trivial things aside. So once again, if he wants to be able to get his family back, if he wants to be able to get that negotiation running in the right direction, if he wants to get that second chance, he will have to put the trivial things aside and to concentrate on the most important things. So this is what this card is telling him. If you want to go forward, you need to focus on the most important things. You cannot spread around. This is not a very easy thing for someone who has ADHD or someone who has some kind of personality disorder, because these people are spreading around. But this card is telling him that he will have to leave his ego aside. He will have to understand that there is no place for ego here. You will have to concentrate on the most important things and to concentrate on not making mistakes in order to move forward if he wants a reconciliation. Now, the next card that elaborates on the outcome is the Six of Cups, which is another 6. And this is another card of second chances. And the Six of Cups is all about nostalgia. It's about childhood. It's about remembering things from the past. It's also about getting out of the comfort zone. It's about rectifying errors of the past. So this is something that he will have to understand that he needs to do. He needs to rectify his errors if he wants to get that second chance. But we have 2 6s here, 2 cards that are showing us that there is a possibility of getting that second chance, of getting that reconciliation that he wants. But he will have to give in a lot of things. He won't be able to get what he wants, and he needs to understand that. As long as he's going on with and being very rigid and not allowing any kind of lenience, and not understanding that he will have to resign a lot of his demands, he won't be able to get that second chance. But both of these cards are showing us that there is a possibility of a second chance, but he will have to get out of his comfort zone. That means that he will have to resign a lot of his preliminary demands. The last card is a last card that elaborates on the outcome, and we get the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands shows us what will happen if he won't listen to advice. And this is jumping to the next bandwagon. The Page of Wands is the eternal student. This is someone who always wants to study something new, always wants to start something new, but is always jumping from one bandwagon to another bandwagon, because he can never concentrate on anything, because nothing really excites him, nothing really ignites him. So he goes from one thing to another thing, because he always looks for something new that will excite him. So if he won't be able to concentrate on the most important thing, then he won't be able to get that second chance. He won't be able to get what he deserves, and he will have to jump to the next bandwagon, which brings us back to the Ace of Wands that we started with, which is about getting his wishes realized in the material world, which is what he's thinking about right now, is what are my next steps? What is the next thing that I can do? And right now, he is very much thinking about that. And he's thinking about the next bandwagon. And he's not paying enough attention to what he needs to do in order to get back to, or get a reconciliation with his family. So this is the extended Celtic cross for Prince Harry. And the Oracle deck is Earth Warriors, and this is advice for the royal family on what to do with Harry, because actually I know that King Charles cares for Harry. He won't be able to completely just put him completely shut him out and forget about him. It's his son, it's difficult. So how can they deal with Harry? What kind of advice can we give them? So Earth Warriors, let's see what the Oracle give. What kind of advice can the Oracle give the royal family? Okay, so let's clear the deck. Okay, advice for the royal family on dealing with Prince Harry. Advice for the royal family on dealing with Prince Harry. And the card I'm getting is Pachamama, she with the Andine Emerald Heart. Let's see what it means. So the message of this card is don't hold back from what is happening. Things need to change, so let them change. It may seem chaotic or overwhelming now. However, you realize that you don't need to figure it all out. You will relax, allowing the wisdom of what is happening at a deeper level to unfold. Trust your inner resources are enough and will grow to meet your needs for soul expression in the world. And this oracle indicates that peace and harmony will eventually triumph over conflict and challenge, bringing about a new way of being. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.